Hi everybody, Miro from Park Bench Plainfield here. Thank you for joining me today and welcome to your community website where we feature and share the stories of business professionals and residents who live or work in the Plainfield area. Today my guests are Mike and Debra, who are the owners of Hufendick Farm Market. I hope that you find their story interesting and delicious. Hi Debra, Mike, thank you so much for having me over at your market here and welcome to Park Bench Plainfield. Why don't we start with, why don't you just tell us what Hufendick is all about? How did it get started? Anything that you want to share?
I guess it started when we were kids. We both grew up on farms, both worked with animals and livestock. So a lot of the stuff we do today is what we learned when we were kids. We've kind of taken that into, we did show pigs for about 8 years, raised Berkshires and Spots and showed them all over the nation, going to national conferences and national contests. And we started to see that there was a need for, people wanted the kind of food that we grew up with. So we started selling halves and wholes on the pork and the beef. And also seen, once we did that for a couple of years, we seen that there was a demand. A lot of people didn't have a freezer big enough to take a half of beef or a quarter of beef. So we started doing our own cuts. We found farmers markets, and we this year we did 5 farmers markets a week.
Oh, great.
In Ottawa, Batavia, Bolingbrook, Plainfield, and Oswego. And so last winter, in the winters when I get all these inspirations to do something different, I guess, we started talking about having our own shop.
And how long have you actually had the butcher shop here? Why don't you tell us a little bit about the butcher shop?
Well, we've had the butcher shop. We actually purchased the building back in June. And we opened up our store as a soft opening in July. And it is slowly evolving. We're still trying to determine or listen to the store and our customers of what this space is evolving into.
Right. And you guys have been in business for a while, not just, well, here, this is very new, but outside of the butcher shop, you've had businesses. So now that you've opened up the butcher shop, what have been some of the challenges that you've experienced, if you can share with us?
Well, a lot of the challenges come from trying to source a butcher shop from one farm. Just the logistics of making sure we have the product to bring in. We don't just call somebody up and say, I need a box of tenderloins for Christmas. We have to be thinking months ahead of time, planning on taking enough cows in or enough pigs in. Just with the turkeys, we do the fresh turkeys for Thanksgiving.
And Christmas.
I just
took those down yesterday.
She took those down and got those processed. When we sell something fresh, we mean fresh. We don't mean frozen and thawed out.
Right.
We have a belief that, if we're going to represent ourselves as something, that's the way we need to do it.
Right.
So,
and if somebody, let's say, needed a custom order, what's the best way to contact you and go about placing an order with you? What does that whole process look like?
Well, just basically give us a call here at the shop.
Give us a call, stop in and talk to us.
Yeah.
We have people who message us over Facebook, so we monitor all those different avenues of how our customers can reach out to us.
And is there a preferred lead time so that everything is done in a timely manner?
Usually within a week. I mean, if you want some special cut or something, usually within the week we can get things taken care of. That doesn't mean that you can call me on a Sunday and order something for the next Thursday or something. A lot of it's just depending on what days, but especially like the roaster pigs. We do roaster pigs. Gets to be kind of difficult to get that all taken care of before Christmas, like around the Christmas time. But we always try to put it out on our Facebook that, hey, if you're going to need this, let us know now so that we can
Right.
get that taken care of for you.
So we try to help out our customers as much as possible, because I know this is something new to them as well, because a lot of them, we had a gentleman call us up on Tuesday at 7 p.m. Says, I need a roaster pig for Saturday. We weren't able to help him because
Right.
we're the real deal. We don't have a roaster pig just hanging out in the freezer that we can just bring out. We have to coordinate all that timing with our processor.
Can you tell us what is the difference between the quality of your meats and what we would normally find in a regular store?
Well, I guess the biggest thing we offer people is that we can tell them where it comes from and how it was raised. That's a huge deal with a lot of people now. Just if you go to a regular store or a grocery store, there's no way they can even tell you what state or what country it comes from a lot of times.
Well, can you share with us some of the details, how the animals are raised and
Sure.
where it's coming from?
Sure. Well, all of our stuff is raised outside. The cattle are all in the pasture eating grass. Then all of our animals eat non-GMO corn or soybeans, depending on which. They're all raised happily. I mean, we don't have confinement buildings where we stuff them in a building and raise them up that way. They're all out. When it's warm, it's warm. When it's cold for them.
So the animals are allowed to act like animals.
Exactly.
Roam around,
Yeah.
be themselves.
Yeah.
Yep.
Happy
So-
pigs and happy cows.
And
That's
chickens
right.
and
And
ducks
chicken.
and turkeys and lambs and goats.
Yeah. Yeah. And another thing we do is no antibiotics. We take care of our animals to the point where we don't need to use antibiotics.
Right.
They're kept dry every day. Their feed source is always clean. Their water is always clean. They have an environment where they can get out and exercise. So we don't believe in using any antibiotics at all. We just take care of them the way our parents taught us to take care of animals.
Right.
Back before antibiotics got such
Right.
high.
There's the right way of doing things and there's
Exactly.
every other way,
Exactly.
right? Now, I got a question for you. What keeps you going? I mean, farming, operating a butcher shop, that's hard work. What motivates you? Why get up in the morning and keep doing it?
A lot of it comes from the way we were raised. I mean, we were raised to work. You don't. We barely get an hour off, let alone a day off.
Well, it's not only the work ethic, but as we were talking before, it's our customers.
Yeah.
Our customers are coming and constantly giving us compliments, or it's one of those, thank you for what you're doing, or I'm saying, thank you so much for supporting our family farm. And they're like, no, thank you for doing what you do. And it's a thank you battle back and forth.
Right.
And it's very gratifying. That's what keeps us going. We love the work ethic that we have, but it's also our customers and the feedback. And a lot of the customers, when they walk in the door here at our butcher shop, we say, welcome. Thank you for coming here. Thank you for supporting our family farm. When they're walking into this butcher shop, they're literally walking into our living room. And we're so happy to have them here. And we want to go ahead and extend out some of that farm hospitality to them.
Sounds great. And I can definitely tell how passionate you guys are.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, sometimes
I
you
mean,
get
it's
a little
coming
carried
through your
away.
pores. It's in your DNA. It's in your blood. And a lot of people can and do appreciate that.
Well, and that's one of our sayings is that it's not our job, it's our life's passion. I mean, and to be a farmer, you have to have passion. I mean, there's days where you don't feel it, but the days when you do feel it, it makes it worthwhile. So and farming has gotten to be a point where it's not as rewarding. That's like she was saying with our customers. It's very rare just growing up on the farm that I can actually talk to the people that are consuming the products we raise.
Right.
And farming is kind of one of those things where you raise it and then you take it in and you put it in with everybody else's that they raised. And you never know if your product is any better than anybody else's, or you're not rewarded. You don't get that tingling feeling.
What would you guys say you're most proud of when it comes to your business?
What would you say?
Well, the business itself, I think I'm proud of what it's allowed us to have a sustainable farm. That's where the heart and soul of what we have. And it's the feedback from the customers and the constant, gratification. I don't know if that's the right word.
Well,
the appreciation. The appreciation.
We've been able to bring our son back in.
And
our son actually runs the farm on a day-to-day now.
Okay.
So that I can do my crazy things of trying to keep everything supplied. That's a big thing. There's nothing more a farmer wants than to be able to pass it on to his son. And there's no other person that knows how I want things done more than my son.
Right.
Because I always talk about it. You learn to be a farmer when you're a little kid following your dad around. That's the experience that you can't read a textbook. You can't go online and watch a YouTube video on. That's just the stuff to know how to do things. And it's kind of crazy. And I think people probably think I'm a little nuts with that. But those actually just watching your dad deal with situations with animals, because on the farm, I can walk out the door in the morning and not get a thing done except for just making sure everything is comfortable for the animals. I can walk back in 10 hours or 12 hours later and not got a thing done at all, except for just the care of the animals.
Right.
Yeah.
And so that dedication and that knowledge you get from your dad. So
Yeah.
That, and then our customers. I mean, it just blows me away that people trust us to come, and come to us and
They're like family.
Yeah.
They really are like family to us, because they trust us. Like you said, they trust us to give them a quality product, and everything that we say that we do, the way that we raise the animals, we really do. We're just not someone who says we're farm to table and we go to Restaurant Depot and pick the stuff up. It doesn't happen that way.
Right.
So our customers are very understanding. If we don't have something in-house, we'll just put their name down and say, okay, the next time we get another steer in, we'll go ahead and we'll give you a call and let you know.
And I can tell that you conduct business in a very integrous way, because Amy, one of your customers who just walked in and walked out, she said that she tells her parents who live in Downers Grove, when they have a need for meat, to come out here.
They do.
Right?
They do.
And get whatever they need. So that's if that's not a true testament to how you run your business, then I don't know what is. So being in business, obviously, you've learned a few things. So what would you say, what advice would you give to someone who's thinking about starting their own business? What are some of the lessons learned?
Well, I guess with the shop, one of the things we learned, we knew going into the shop that there were going to be pitfalls and things that pop up all along. But I guess it was probably a lot more than what we figured it was going to be, just the timeliness of things. It's just you basically lash up your boots and tie them up and charge forward. You can't let it get you down. I mean, we've had ups and downs already.
Yeah, you got to take the blessings, the good with the bad and everything. And I wouldn't say that the bad was bad. It was just a life lesson learned.
Yeah.
And always look at those life lessons as blessings in disguise. And
It helps if you're a half full kind of guy instead of half empty. I mean, because there's days you have to look at it that way. That's the only thing that keeps you going with things. But yeah, I mean, it's been quite an experience. We've talked about it before. Where we're at now in our lives allows us to make the decisions and to do it. I wouldn't have wanted to do it when I was 25. I mean, I had way more energy back then, but I didn't know what I know. The life lessons that we've gotten over our lives have helped us to deal with things that come up on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Before we wrap things up, Debra and Mike, is there anything exciting happening right now with your business or your farm that you would like to share with whomever might be seeing this?
Yeah, well, we getting ready for Christmas now. We've got a lot of orders for beef, of course. Beef is a popular thing for Christmas.
But don't forget about the hams.
And we also did the fresh turkeys. this year, which normally we just do at Thanksgiving, but this year we held some over and did for Christmas. And we're just looking into, I mean, the shop is just starting to figure out what it needs to be. And so by next summer or next spring, we'll actually have our sandwich shop part of it all set up and ready to go. We'll carry a lot of anything from a steak, we'll cook you a steak, to some of our sandwiches like what we run in our food truck. So.
And it's all in-house, homemade.
It's all are made out of our proteins. Made, you know, we actually have some Joliet Junior College culinary students that actually work with us.
Oh, great,
and
great.
So we, using their knowledge, we're giving them the chance to be able to learn butchery and the way a butcher shop works. It's a lot of chefs never get that through their career, and they give us a lot of knowledge in their menus or their recipes. So
everyone benefits.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Well, once again, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me today and sharing your story with me and really giving us a chance to get to know you a little bit better.
Thank you.
Well, thank you.
If you would like to reach out to Mike and Debra and find out more about Hufendick Farm Market, all you have to do is scroll down to the bottom of the page and you'll see all the different ways that you can get a hold of them. And for those of you who would like to get a chance to share your story on this website, please go to www.parkbench.com/Plainfield and click on the request interview icon. We'll take care of the rest. Thanks for joining us, everyone. See you next time.